Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be diving into the Cabuliwallah. It's a short story by Rabindranath Tagore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's set in early 1900s Calcutta.
Okay.
So, I mean, picture like this bustling city with this mix of cultures and traditions.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of it all, we find this unlikely friendship. It's blossoming between a young Bengali girl named Minnie and a Cabuliwallah. His name is Raman.
Okay.
And he's a traveling merchant from Afghanistan. Now, these merchants were a common sight back then. But what makes this connection so intriguing is how Tagore uses it to explore deeper themes like societal prejudices and the power of imagination.
It's a fascinating use of setting, right? Using the backdrop of colonial India to kind of delve into these universal human experiences.
Absolutely. And the story unfolds through the eyes of Minnie's father, who is a writer. And right from the start, we see little Minnie, full of questions and curiosity. And she finds this surprisingly patient friend in Rahman. He's this imposing figure from a faraway land.
Right.
And their interactions challenge the preconceived notions people often had about those who were different from them.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on how this dynamic plays out?
Well, think about the context here. The father is part of the educated Bengali middle class, somewhat influenced by British culture.
Right.
While Rahman represents the other, the outsider.
Yeah.
The one viewed with suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
And Tagore doesn't shy away from depicting the societal anxieties of that era, especially through the mother's character.
Yeah.
Remember her worries about kidnappings and slavery in Kabul?
Oh, yeah.
These fears, while perhaps exaggerated, reflect the prejudices directed at Cabuliwallahs. They were seen as potential threats.
Mm-hmm.
And their presence sparked unease in a society grappling with colonial rule and its complexities.
And it's interesting how those anxieties contrast with the father's own reaction to Rahan. He's drawn to him, isn't he?
Yeah.
Almost as if Rahman's presence sparks a sense of longing,
Yeah.
a desire for something beyond the confines of his daily life.
That's a perceptive observation. The father, who describes his own existence as vegetable-like, seems to romanticize Rahman's world. He dreams of distant mountains, the freedom of a traveling merchant. And in a way, Rahman becomes a symbol of escape from the monotony and perhaps even the constraints imposed by colonialism.
Uh-huh.
Do you think this fascination could be a form of escapism for the father?
Oh.
A way to cope with the complexities of his own identity in a colonized society?
That's a really thought-provoking question. It makes you wonder about the psychological impact of colonialism, not just on the colonized, but on those caught in between,
Right.
striving to balance their own cultural heritage with the influences of the ruling power.
Yeah.
And amidst these complex dynamics, we have Minnie, oblivious to the societal tensions,
Right.
forming this genuine bond with Rahman.
Their connection is so pure. Tagore beautifully captures those simple yet profound moments of cross-cultural connection. Minnie, with her childlike curiosity, and Rahman, with his limited Bengali, managed to bridge those barriers through shared laughter stories and small gifts. It reminds us that human connection can flourish in the most unexpected places, even amidst societal prejudices and cultural differences.
And it makes a turning point in the story even more poignant. The incident that leads to Rahman's arrest shattering this idyllic image of their friendship.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through that moment and its significance?
Certainly. The story takes a darker turn when Rahman gets into a dispute with a customer over a shawl.
Oh, wow.
This seemingly minor disagreement escalates into a violent altercation, leading to his arrest. Now, what's striking here is the juxtaposition of this harsh reality with Minnie's innocent world. She cheerfully greets Rahman as he's being led away by the police, completely unaware of the gravity of the situation.
It's heartbreaking, isn't it? Tagore masterfully uses this contrast to highlight the stark difference between a child's perception and the complexities of the adult world, where misunderstandings can have such dire consequences.
Exactly. And this incident also raises questions about justice and how societal biases might have played a role in Rahman's arrest. Was his reaction truly proportionate to the situation, or did his otherness contribute to a harsher judgment? It's a subtle yet powerful commentary on the inequalities prevalent in colonial society.
And then time marches on. Years pass. Minnie grows up. New friends and experiences fill her days. And the memory of Rahman fades.
Yeah.
It's as if life in their bustling household simply continues while Rahman remains frozen in time serving his sentence.
Right.
What do you make of this passage of time and its significance in the story?
It's a powerful device Tagore uses to emphasize the theme of change and the fleeting nature of childhood.
Right.
Minnie's life evolves, She enters a new phase marked by her upcoming wedding, symbolizing the passage into adulthood. Meanwhile, Roman, confined within the walls of prison, is denied this natural progression of life.
Hmm.
This contrast underscores how time can have a differential impact,
Uh-huh.
shaping individual experiences in vastly different ways.
And then comes that poignant moment when Roman, finally released from prison, reappears on Minnie's wedding day.
This is a pivotal moment, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
The joy and anticipation of the wedding day are juxtaposed with Raman's return, a figure who embodies memories of a bygone era. He arrives a changed man, bearing gifts of almonds, raisins, and grapes, seeking to reconnect with the little girl who had captured his heart.
It's both heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah?
He's clung to the memory of their bond, hoping to find her just as he left her. But of course, Minnie is no longer that carefree child. She's a young woman on the threshold of a new life, and the playful connection they once shared is lost.
It's a poignant reminder that time moves forward relentlessly, and we can't hold on to the past.
Right.
Relationships evolve, and sometimes, despite our best intentions, we find ourselves on different trajectories.
Yeah.
The poignant scene where Rahman asks Minnie, "Little one, are you going to your father-in-law's house?" highlights this disconnect.
Oh,
She understands the double meaning, now blushes. And the chasm between their past connection and their present reality widens.
Tagore beautifully captures that sense of loss and the realization that relationships, especially those rooted in childhood, can be incredibly fragile.
He does. And then he deepens the emotional impact with that powerful moment when Rahman reveals a small, dirty piece of paper he's treasured all these years.
Yeah.
It's the ink-smeared handprint of his own daughter Parvati, back in his distant mountain home. This simple object becomes a catalyst for a profound shift in the narrator's perspective. How do you interpret the significance of the handprint in this scene?
It's incredibly moving. It's as if the handprint becomes a bridge connecting these two men from vastly different worlds. The narrator in that instant sees beyond the societal labels of Cabuliwallah, an educated Bengali. He recognizes the shared humanity, the universal bond of fatherhood that transcends cultural and social barriers. He sees himself in Rahman and Rahman in himself.
Exactly. The handprint becomes a symbol of their shared experience, the universal language of parental love that needs no translation.
And what strikes me is how the narrator acts on this realization.
Yeah.
He doesn't just dwell on it. He calls for Minnie, despite the ongoing wedding preparations, wanting her to meet Rahman one last time to witness this shared understanding.
Yes, he wants to share this profound connection, this newfound empathy with his daughter. It's a testament to his transformation, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
The narrator's priorities have shifted. He's no longer solely focused on the social expectations of the wedding. He's moved by a deeper understanding of human connection.
It's a beautiful sentiment, but again, tinged with sadness because Minnie doesn't recognize Rahman. Their past bond remains lost, a casualty of time and circumstance. What do you think Tagore is trying to convey through this bittersweet encounter?
I believe Tagore is highlighting the complexities of human relationships, how they evolve and sometimes fade, but also how a fleeting connection can leave a lasting impact. The innocence of Minnie and Rahman's friendship, though gone, has shaped both their lives in profound ways. It's a testament to the enduring power of human connection, even when those connections themselves are ephemeral.
And the story doesn't end there. The narrator takes a significant action that speaks volumes about his transformation. He decides to send Rahman back to Afghanistan, providing him with money for his journey and wishing him happiness in reuniting with his own daughter.
This act of generosity is deeply meaningful.
Yeah.
The narrator chooses to forego some of the planned wedding festivities, the electric lights, and the military band, much to the dismay of some family members. But for him, the wedding feast is all the more brighter, knowing that Rahman is on his way home to his daughter. This decision reveals a shift in his values.
He is prioritizing genuine human connection and empathy over societal expectations and material possessions.
Precisely. It suggests a rejection of the colonial mindset, a conscious choice to acknowledge and value the human worth of someone who was previously seen as an outsider. This is a powerful transformation that resonates with Tagore's own belief in the unity of humankind, a theme that permeates his works.
And as Rahman sits in that little Calcutta lane, he doesn't see the bustling city around him. He sees the barren mountains of Afghanistan, his homeland, and we can imagine him envisioning his daughter, who must have grown up just like Minnie.
This image beautifully encapsulates the themes of separation longing and the enduring bonds of family that run throughout the story. Both Rahman and the narrator, despite their different circumstances, share a profound love for their daughters, a love that transcends geographical distance and the passage of time.
It's a truly moving ending to a story filled with so much depth and insight into the human condition. The Cabuliwallah leaves us with so much to contemplate, Like, it's a story that stays with you.
It really does. Tagore so masterfully weaves together these seemingly simple encounters and everyday moments to explore profound themes about human connection and societal prejudices and the complexities of life in colonial India.
It makes you think about those everyday interactions we have, right?
Yeah.
People we might overlook or misjudge because they seem different from us.
Mm.
Rahman, with his rough appearance and foreign tongue, was initially met with suspicion and fear.
And yet beneath that exterior, he was a loving father,
Yeah.
a man yearning for connection, just like the narrator himself. Tagore challenges us to look beyond those superficial differences, to recognize the shared humanity in everyone we encounter.
That's such a powerful message, especially in today's world where divisions and prejudices can feel so prominent. It's a reminder that empathy and understanding are essential for building bridges and fostering meaningful connections.
Absolutely. And the story also prompts us to reflect on how time and experience shape our relationships. Minnie and Ramon's friendship was born out of a shared innocence, a childlike wonder that couldn't be sustained as they both grew older.
Right. It's a reminder that relationships evolve, and sometimes we have to let go of the past in order to embrace the present. Their bond transformed over time, leaving both of them changed by the experience.
And of course, the narrator undergoes his own transformation through his interactions with Ramon. He starts with a sense of apprehension, even a degree of prejudice, but ultimately arrives at a place of empathy and generosity.
His decision to send Rahman home, prioritizing that act of kindness over the social expectations of the wedding, speaks volumes about his growth.
It does, and it connects back to that powerful image of the handprint,
Right.
a symbol of the shared humanity that transcends cultural and social divides. In the end, Tagore seems to suggest that true happiness lies not in material possessions or societal status, but in the richness of human connection and the fulfillment of our deepest emotional bonds.
It's a profound message that resonates deeply even a century after the story was written. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Kabuliwallah, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. We've discussed how Rahman's imprisonment shaped his perspective and how his connection with Minnie transformed the narrator's worldview. But what about Minnie herself? How do you think this experience might have shaped her understanding of the world and her place in it?
That's an excellent question, and one that I think Tagore intentionally leaves open for the reader to ponder.
Okay.
Minnie, though, a central figure in the story, is largely seen through the lens of her father's perspective.
Right.
We get glimpses of her vibrant personality, her curiosity, and her evolving understanding of the adult world. But ultimately, her inner journey, the way this experience shaped her own perceptions and beliefs, is left to our imagination. It's an invitation to consider the lasting impact of those seemingly fleeting encounters that color our lives, the connections that shape who we become, even if those connections themselves fade with time.
It's a beautiful and thought-provoking way to end this exploration of the Kabuliwallah, a story that reminds us of the power of empathy, the importance of looking beyond superficial differences, and the enduring impact of human connection in all its complexities and nuances. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive.